All right, here's another finesse style entry technique where you could use the masonry nail. Now, this is a call I've probably been on at least a half dozen times through the years. It typically comes in as a child locked inside a bathroom. And mom or dad, their older brother or sister, or the babysitter that's on site isn't familiar with this technique. So the fire department gets called. Now we get on scene. We're obviously checking the door twice to make sure it's locked. If the doorknob doesn't have what I'm about to show you, usually what we're going to do is we're going to pop off this nailed on stop, and then we're just going to manipulate the latch, which, you know, if you guys remember on these knob locks, it has a really small throw, usually only about a ½ inch that's going into the strike or keeper of the door jamb. So once this nail on stop is off, sometimes we can just pop it free a little bit and just get a shove knife in there and manipulate the latch, and we're in pretty quickly. But if you notice on the doorknob that there's this little hole, and this hole is going to vary in size, you can use this masonry nail technique. And again, because that hole is usually small, I usually start with the 2½ inch, because the 2½ inch is a little smaller in diameter than the 3 inch. The 2½ is an 8D, and the 3 inch is a 10D. We're going to take the tip and we're going to insert it into that hole, and if you can kind of see the shiny portion, I'll try to do a little bit of a close-up on it. That's that head of the pin which pushes the button that's on the other side of the doorknob out and releases the lock. So you got to go in straight on. If you go in on a bad angle, you're going to miss it. But if you go straight on, you should hear a pop, and that releases that push button lock on the other side, and we'll take a look at it, and you're in. Now, how this usually happens, guys, is this push button lock is engaged prior to the kid making entry. So maybe an adult accidentally pushed it in. The kid comes in and they're too short to reach the doorknob, but they push the door shut and now they're locked inside. You know, any kid that can reach the doorknob, all they got to do is turn it to release that lock. But if they're too short, they're not going to be able to, and they get locked inside. I actually had one call where the dog followed the kid in and pushed the door shut, and now you have the dog and the kid locked inside. But again, nail goes into that hole, try to get straight on, push it, and you're good to go. So just one more option for using a masonry nail.